Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Obsessed. We have a very special 2-hour variety episode special today, starring Megan M. Gooder.
Hi.
Who y'all know and love from our beloved One Direction episode and also just from the Obsessed community. One of my dear best friends. So happy to have you back, Megan.
Thank you for having me,
And you have
Brookie.
been highly requested.
That means the absolute world to me. I love the BNC community. I love the Obsessed community. I love the Brooke community as well and the Izzy community as well. So happy to be a part of it. Happy to be here. Happy to be spreading the good news of you know who.
Of you know who, doing you know what. Now, Megan will be the star of the first hour of the variety special. We are thankful to the high heavens for that. We do have some guests appearing for the second half of the variety special, but that is neither here nor there. Right now, we are here to discuss with Megan something very powerful, something that we both love. I did not plan anything today. I told Megan to just come with her passion, which she has plenty of, to just tell us about one of her special interests, which is, without further ado,
John Mulaney.
John M.
Well, Brooke, you don't always have to be a star.
I know, but you do if you are going to be in the biggest boy band in the world. I gotten so worked up that I had thrown up on myself in my stroller. In my 14-year-old self, I said, those are hot men. And look at them now. They're like babies. That was kind of just like a casual interest, which I guess maybe a little bit more than casual. We have spoken a little bit about John M. on this podcast before, about how strongly I feel towards him and how we are able to share in that passion. And everything negative is ignored in that space.
Yes.
Okay.
Everything negative can also be pivoted. It is insane how I can make probably like some of the worst things like a positive.
Are you able to give us an example of that, Megan?
I am actually kind of afraid. I'm kind of afraid to go on record with like the amount that I am able to kind of co-sign for him. But I will say, like, okay, he is married to someone new right now. Not who you might originally have known him to be with if you have been following his career from the beginning. Her name.
I just love to say we don't know.
We
don't know what happened.
We don't know what happened.
We genuinely don't. And like until the day it is laid in front of me, I do not know what happened. And that is what I will continue to preach.
And I will.
Don't.
And you know what? The day that it is laid in front of me, I still
see
don't
it.
care.
Y'all know I have horrible vision.
I have horrible. Look, I take my glasses off. I cannot see a lick.
You literally can't.
Is this bro?
I can't. I don't know, Megan, because I do not have a prescription on right now.
So I'm genuinely forgiving him for anything he does. But the good thing is that we don't have to forgive much.
That's true. Because we don't know much.
He's a
private guy, almost
a little too private.
He's almost a little too private for what I'm comfortable with.
Yeah, I'd personally like to know a little bit more.
We actually, our friend Brett, who is just like asks the best questions, like the best get to know you questions. I think going on a date with Brett would be like a gift.
Oh my God,
would be a gift
tier.
from the high heavens for so many reasons. But his questions, and he asked us yesterday, like if you could read a memoir from anyone, who would it be?
Yeah, and my answer was John Mulaney.
M. Right off the bat,
just because there are so many things about this man that are so like alluring and interesting. He's lived like so many different lives that like I want to know from like his POV, what's the tea from day one. In one of his specials, he talks about and this is Baby J.
Yeah.
He talks about that the first time he had a drink was when he was 7 years old with his parents at the dinner table. They were very like European about drinking. I need to know like how that happened.
Right.
Especially after watching him on the David Letterman Netflix show.
Yes.
We were able to see kind of a sneak peek and a behind the curtain at Chip Mulaney.
Yeah. Chip
his
is
father.
just seems like really,
He's
really
exquisite.
an exquisite young man.
And you know, that like
nearing the older side.
young man approaching 70s,
Young
but
man.
young nonetheless. After seeing Chip on David Letterman, I'm thinking this young man would not let his 7-year-old child have access to a glass of wine. Yet that is what happened.
Right. So we need the details.
So I need the
And
details.
you know what they say about the details.
The devil's in them.
The devil's in the details. And we want to know more about the devil.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I wanted to start out with, some might think we'd start this about like a history on John and about him. I'm not going to do that.
Okay. Which direction are you heading in?
I'm going to start with the history about me and John.
I think that will mean a lot to the viewers.
Okay, perfect. So let me paint the picture for you.
Okay.
The year is 2015.
Okay. Where were we caught? You were graduating high school?
So I've graduated high school.
Okay.
I am in my freshman year of college.
Okay.
This is about October, November 2015.
Yes.
The girls and I have decided we're not going to go out tonight. We're just going to have a cozy night in. My friend Lauren Gregrick, decides, I have to give her a shout out because my whole life changed after this moment.
There is nothing like when you can feel your life shifting while consuming.
It's like you feel the Google search of like insert name here, funny moments happening as you're watching it. You're like, whoa.
I'm shifting.
That's
like the people on TikTok that are like, watch me shift. And you're like, I can't quite see it. It's because, and I finally get it. It's not quite visible to the naked eye. It's something that's happening within. And so you were shifting in them.
I was shifting. What was that one person called, like the Wonderland system or the Wonderland community?
Something like that. There was, yeah.
I was experiencing Wonderland community 1.0.
You were accessing a new
type of personality. Yeah. Exactly. So we decide to watch John Mulaney's, let me get which one it was. I'm pretty sure it was New in Town, but I just want to double check.
I think to this date, New in Town is my favorite one of his specials.
It was The Comeback Kid. Imagine me. I'm 18 years old. I am confronted with the image of a like 36-year-old John Mulaney, thin as a rail, sunken
Sweating.
eyes. I don't understand how his eyes were like buggy yet sunken at the same time. So
under eyes are sinking, which caused the eyeballs themselves to protrude.
Yes. I saw that young man and I said, that's me.
Give me 14 of them right now.
Give me 14 of them right now. And I actually, for the first time with any sort of obsession, I really like pushed back on it, where I like never actually like said like, okay, like I love John Mulaney in a way that like I am like interested and attracted to him. I didn't make that confession and that like outward expression until 2019.
Wow. So you had years to grapple with this.
I had years of repressed emotions, just being like, he's so funny. He's so talented. I like his humor. I like his wit. I like his je ne sais quoi.
I want to say that I agree with you there. I don't think I was even consciously repressing it. I think I genuinely believed I wasn't attracted to him.
Right. And then you have some sort of, you mature and there's some sort of
horrible
shift.
Unlock.
Mine happened 2019, but I really don't understand why I wasn't interested in like expressing that.
What happened? Tell us what happened in 2019 and then maybe we can figure it out.
You know, in 2019, he released the Sack Lunch Bunch, John Mulaney and the Sack Lunch Bunch, which like in his specials, he talks about with his previous partner, not really wanting to have children, not being interested in having children. But he made this special that was kind of like an old, like 70s inspired Sesame Street, like kids special made for kids, but made by adults and kids to enjoy together.
Yeah.
And he starts out that special with a quote from Erica Jane from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, as he had really connected with the Beverly Hills housewives and Erica in particular, who at that time was my favorite housewife. And the quote is something to the effect of like, the only people that tell the truth are drunks and children. So he's kind of doing connecting via drunk and then connecting via children. Something about that just said, okay, this is the most self-aware man. He has no qualms with like just saying the truth and making it biblical. Does that make sense?
Completely.
So I think that's when I had like the official unlock of like, okay, yes, I am attracted to him.
But what attracted you to him was his
his intelligence.
Prophecy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His intelligence, his wit, and also like his face.
While it was
sunken in.
Yeah.
And also I really, really appreciated his like nerdy kind of like presence and ensemble. Like I really appreciated that like every time he came on stage, he's wearing a suit.
Yeah.
Like this is a show.
He takes his craft very seriously.
Yes.
But he doesn't take himself seriously.
It's kind of like a perfect mix.
Yeah, it really is.
It's kind of like a perfect mix. So after that fateful day in 2015, when I got connected with the Comeback Kid, obviously I had to move forward with consuming all of the all of the material available to me.
Yes.
Which includes going back to a special that is not actually on the internet to like view with your eyes. It's only available on Spotify and on a
as like
a music
playlist?
platform. Yeah, as a comedy album.
Okay.
And that's called The Top Part. That was released in 2009. And let me just pull up a visual, if you don't mind, of what he looked like in The Top Part.
Have you seen clips from The Top Part, or are you really only able to access that via audio?
I'm only able to access that via audio. This was a special that he recorded in 2009 in San Francisco. That sometimes if the binky has been present and has been overserved. Sometimes I will have to just play this to get myself to fall asleep. So yeah, this is the young man from The Top Part. Let me know what you think about this young.
That's a young. That's making me understand all of the times he's referred to himself as a young lesbian woman.
Yeah. Is he just for your eyes? That's going to be the young man from The Top Part.
Yeah.
The craziest,
or also when he refers to himself as a young Asian
woman. Seeing this visual. Also, this is just reminding me many years ago. This is probably 2020. I saw like a TikTok of someone who was like, I'm just drawing all of my favorite comedians.
Yeah.
And she was drawing John Mulaney and said there's always like a key feature of someone's face that helps her draw them.
Yeah.
And for John Mulaney, it's his eyes and how far apart they are. And it's like they're almost like falling off of his face. They just like droop.
They're drooping down. They're almost like teardrops themselves.
Yes, kind of like the teardrops on my guitar.
Yeah.
But that visual just really makes me think about that.
Yeah.
So 2009, The Top Part, recorded in San Francisco.
Okay.
The thing about The Top Part, and the thing about John in particular, is that he uses all of his material. Like if he's had a joke for 20 years, he's going to pull it out of the repertoire and rejudge it and reframe it for the modern day.
Yeah.
There are beginnings of jokes from New in Town, like about the about quack quack like a duckling. Yes, like there's beginnings of that in The Top Part.
That just goes to show you how seriously he takes his craft. Like he is nonstop working things out and through. And he continues to do that to this day. Yes.
Most recently being that he was performing at like some AI conference recently.
That was so good.
And there wasn't really like a ton of video. That there was just like some transcription from a Variety article where he was just like, going in on AI and like how bad it is. But he just like, it's like insane to be like roasting the AI community right in front of their face. I wonder
if he had to get anything approved or not.
I feel like probably so, but he probably
then went rogue.
Yeah, and then went rogue, or just like was like, yeah, I'm gonna poke fun at you guys, but then like really kind of went in. But in that same event, there were a couple videos. I got some TikToks about them. He is using material from Live from Radio City, reconfigured into that event. Sorry. The part from Radio City where he says, it's crazy that we have to tell robots every day that we are not robots. He was able to reconfigure that into the AI portion at the AI event. You literally, the way that the room was howling, it was like they had never heard it before, which is probably true because no one is paying attention, I think, as much as I am paying attention.
Well, what's crazy is that like I've probably seen him like 10 times. And a few of those times they've been the exact same show with the exact same material. but it lands just as hard, if not harder, each time because he's bringing a newfound like expertise and energy each time.
Yeah.
And his delivery, it's like he's always telling the joke for the first time. That's what it feels like.
Yes.
And that's why you feel like you're hearing it for the first time. His delivery
is exquisite.
It really is.
We've had the pleasure of seeing John many times.
We've been very lucky. We've been good girls.
I feel like
maybe about 6 times together.
I feel like I was going to say like 4 times like in the last year.
All good.
It's completely fine though.
Yeah.
I just want to say that's like the miracle of living in Los Angeles is that like when John Mulaney says, I'm going to be here at this time at this day,
we say
awesome. you can make yourself available.
See you there.
See you at this time on this day.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Maybe this is like one of my like special talents. But I just like love saying like, oh, this is from the last time. This is from the last time we were here.
No, it's really like he'll say a joke and we'll be like, yep.
We know that one.
We know that one. It's like being a part of a club.
Yes, a very, very elite and uniquely minded club.
Yeah. But you're so good. Like you can recite the lines from each special. I can't. I can probably only, even though I've seen them probably 10 times each, I can't. That's not a talent I have. Like I could probably only give you like one bit from each, like solidly.
I think that's because like I believe in complete like beat down repetition. Mm-hmm. I'm going to watch this until it is literally ingrained in my mind. And at one point in college, I used to be able to recite like the first 5 minutes of New in Town, like from intro video to like first like big laugh break. Mm-hmm. I have since taken up some different real estate in my brain.
Okay.
But that doesn't make it any like it's still there. Other material has taken over.
Yeah.
Wait, what was I saying? New in Town. I just had it and then I lost it. Oh, I was going back through my catalog of just references and things that I have posted and kind of made the public aware of via my obsession. And I don't know, one of our friends was going to see John at the Largo when he was there for like a couple of days. And it was before me and you were going. Mm-hmm. And they told me I really love Steely Dan. And they told me, oh, John has a Steely Dan joke.
Yeah.
So I am completely losing my mind.
Yeah.
Like awestruck, dumbstruck. Like I feel sick. So yes, I am going to wear like my specific Steely Dan t-shirt. Oh wait, actually, you know what? I was with Sodi for this.
Okay.
Not you, but that's fine. Nonetheless.
Fine. Same thing.
I wore this t-shirt that I have that says I'm always going to be the kind of punk to defend Steely Dan, thinking that everyone would just be like, oh my God, like, I can't believe you wore that shirt. And then like, he's doing that.
Right.
Like doing that joke.
And even maybe he would see it too.
Yeah, maybe he would see it too. Did not get to the Largo in time. So I was kind of sitting in that back corner.
That's
back left
tough.
corner. But nonetheless, I was there wearing the shirt and spirit.
Hey guys, we'd like to take a quick break to thank a sponsor of today's episode, Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or managing a growing brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything from products to content to time, all in one place, all on your terms. Squarespace is introducing Design Intelligence, combining 2 decades of industry-leading design expertise with cutting-edge AI technology to unlock your strongest creative potential. Design Intelligence empowers anyone to build a beautiful, more personalized website tailored to their unique needs. Also, Squarespace Payments is the easiest way to manage your payments in one place. Onboarding is fast and simple. Get started in just a few clicks and start receiving payments right away. With Squarespace, you can connect major social and multimedia accounts to your website in a few clicks, as icons, direct links, or embedded feeds. Sellers can also sync their product catalog directly with Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Google to reach more customers and reduce the steps for a purchase. Check out squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/OWB to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Hey guys, we want to take a quick break to thank a sponsor of today's episode, Book of the Month. Okay, I've been talking about this nonstop, But I have been reading Stephen King's memoir, and I never read nonfiction. So this is kind of like a leap out of my comfort zone. And I'm really inspired by Book of the Month because they give you 5 selections each month, some of which are outside of my comfort zone. And let me just tell you, I'm loving this Stephen King book. So I'm really inspired even more so to choose a Book of the Month book that might be out of my comfort zone. So I'm really excited about that. Book of the Month's mission is to share the best new books with their audience. They focus on finding emerging authors that allow members to find books they may not have found on their own or online. With Book of the Month, everyone gets to pick from the same selection of curated books so you can read the same books as your friends, family, or book club. One reason I love Book of the Month is because of the personalized choices. Subscribers can choose their favorite from monthly picks or opt for add-ons, making it a tailored experience. And it's super flexible. You can skip a month or cancel anytime, making it a low commitment option for busy readers. My October pick is The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden. The tagline is, she's looking for the perfect man. He's looking for the perfect victim. So if any of you choose The Boyfriend in October, let me know. If you guys are interested in trying Book of the Month and reading with me, you can join and get the first book for just $5 with the code PUMPKIN. And when you sign up, make sure to select Obsessed with Brooke in the survey after enrolling to let them know I sent you. Again, head to bookofthemonth.com and use code PUMPKIN in all caps to get your first book in October for $5.
Okay, insert, and this is going in to the fact that we've seen him too many times. I did see him again with you 2 days later.
Yes.
Not wearing my Steely Dan t-shirt.
Okay.
We had closer seats up to the front.
Yes.
If you're remembering. He did his Steely Dan joke. He said something Steely Dan, and I said, woo! And he goes,
I do remember that.
Thank you for that. So that's going to be our first official point of contact.
Yeah.
I have never had any form of contact with John Mulaney besides him looking me directly in the eyes and saying, thank you for my loud woo for Steely Dan.
That's very positive.
That is completely enough. Like if someone said at the end of that interaction, like, it's time for you to pass, I would say, okay, I'm fine here. I'm fine here.
Would you want to be... I want to take y'all back. I don't know if we've been obsessed with Born yet. There was a time that Megan and I were at an event, respectively, with Nathan Fielder and John Mayer. Mm-hmm. And both of us were wondering, should we approach?
Yeah.
What ended up happening was I was able to take pictures of Nathan from afar, and Megan was able to approach John Mayer and have a full conversation as John Mayer put his hand on Megan. Okay, so 2 different types of people, 2 different types of interactions. What would you have done if John Mulaney was also at that event?
I don't think I would have been able to, the way that you were feeling about Nathan, where you were just like, oh my God, like I don't even like want him to see me. Like I'm like over, I think I would have had to leave because
we did have to leave.
We did.
Nathan.
We did.
Yeah.
If I have an interaction with John Mulaney that is not the exact moment that I have been dreaming of for 10 years, it's not going to go well. No. It's not going to go well for anyone. And like you always hear things about celebrities like, oh my God, like they're so great. They're so nice. Or like they're a monster. They're horrible to work with. Someone that we are friends with was able to say that she's heard not so great things about John. To which that I have to say,
we both said,
I'm hard of hearing.
We cannot hear you.
I
Thank you
cannot
so
hear
much.
you.
Try again later.
It doesn't matter like what he is like outside of the interaction that we have. As long as that interaction is picture perfect, I'm fine with it.
Yeah. She was also saying like, oh yeah, like I've heard not so great things, like he drinks.
Okay.
What? Like, yeah, that's the point.
Like,
not
we get it.
Sober
not
now, but that was before, of course. But like, yeah. So it does seem that like everything negative that she had to say was something that he's already said.
Yes. Which that's the thing about him being self-aware.
And here we go again with the defense. So
with the self-awareness that he has, he told us that. He told us that from day one. He said, I had to stop drinking because I would black out and I would ruin parties. So if you're saying he's blacking out and ruining parties,
I heard that from the source.
From the horse's mouth.
Yep.
So yeah, if we had gone to that event and John Mulaney would have been there, I really, really, truly don't think I would have been able to make it.
What's your dream interaction?
My dream interaction involves him like leaving his wife and family.
Okay.
Which like I obviously like don't want to happen because, you know, like I'm happy for them and
you wouldn't want that to happen.
I wouldn't at all. And I'm like super happy for them. Congrats to the happy couple.
Congrats on the new baby.
Yes, congrats on baby May.
Yay.
So if it didn't involve leaving his wife and kids.
Yeah. Let's just say genuine like fan to mentor. Gorgeous interaction.
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, another one of my obsessions is a comedian by the name of Gary Shandling.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a very like close mentor-mentee friend relationship with Judd Apatow.
Mm-hmm.
And Gary Shandling would have these basketball games on Sundays with a bunch of other comedians. And it kind of started with just him and Judd, and then it would be him and Judd and Sarah Silverman, and then like yada, yada, yada. It ended up being this whole thing. Mm-hmm. Gary is no longer with us. Rest in peace. Mm-hmm. But after he died, they had like one last basketball game, all of the comedians that would go out there and play basketball with him on Sunday. My dream interaction would be for me and John to meet in some sort of capacity. Maybe I'm like trying my hand at stand-up for the first time.
Right.
And he just so happens to be there and says, hey, that was a pretty decent first try. And I can see that you got something in your eye. Let me help you out. And I would say, yeah, of course.
Okay.
And then we kind of create that Gary Judd relationship. Him being Gary, of course, me being Judd. But here's the thing. John doesn't want to play basketball.
It wouldn't be enough for you, would it?
John doesn't want to play basketball on Sundays. Mm-hmm. John wants
to make your own thing.
Yeah. That's exactly what we would do.
Yeah.
We would go to a cafe. We would sit down every Sunday and talk mad shit about everyone we know. And do that for probably the next 30 to 40 years.
Wow.
Creating some sort of relationship that's probably like inappropriate to have when you're married with children. But obviously we like never cross any boundaries or anything. Like we're strictly friends. But should anything ever happen, the kids know me, they know who I am, and they would feel comfortable living in my presence. Does that make any sense?
Completely, Megan. Thank you for laying that all out. Yeah, completely.
Complete sense.
Yeah.
What would your dream interaction be with him?
With John? I would have to be funny.
Yeah.
And in order for me to be funny, I would have to know that I wouldn't think he's in the room. So my dream interaction with him would be me doing something funny with someone else, getting a tap on my shoulder from behind, and him saying, I like what you just did, kid.
Kid,
I like the sound of that, kid.
I think you're going to be a star.
And then just walking away.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. No long-term mingling.
I shouldn't have the opportunity to speak in response.
Okay.
Because that would ruin it. The second I know he's there, that's when I start becoming incoherent.
Yeah.
And annoying and not funny. So that's something that he would have to perceive me in a setting where I'm feeling my best and my most natural.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for everyone, that would be a case where I don't know he's in the room.
Okay.
So
would I be allowed to know that he's in the room?
As long as you're not giving me any signals, which I don't know that you would be able to do
that. Okay. So we both don't know he's in the room.
No.
Okay.
No one knows he's in the room.
What room do you think we would be in for this to happen?
Maybe we're just like at an event like the one that John Mayer and Nathan Fielder were at.
Yeah.
And we're doing something silly, like being ourselves, whatever. And then the tap on the shoulder happens. Yeah.
Like, obviously this is a hypothetical situation, but like I am giddy at the thought.
I also am like giddy. I need to think more deeply about what I'm doing that warrants that response of, that was good, kid.
Maybe you're doing some sort of like physical comedy.
Yeah, I'm not bad at physical comedy. Something. I feel like the thing that I would be doing is almost like making fun of someone else, but not in a disparaging way.
Right.
Like in a way that he makes fun of the AI community.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's been one of your favorite times of us seeing John? Ooh, I think I know the answer.
Big Mouth Live.
I knew it.
Was so remarkable seeing him as Andrew come to life, because Andrew is my favorite character from Big Mouth just because I feel like he has the like grossest puberty experiences and like the most traumatic, like horny, like hairy, like gross.
Yeah.
And hearing that as John's voice is remarkable. So seeing the fusion of John and Andrew in real life.
Yeah.
And having him sing that gorgeous piece he sung, I'm gay, totally gay. And he had soul.
He was giving it literally his all. Like he was like a 12-year-old theater kid on that stage. Like he was performing.
And like that type of experience, that's one of my favorite episodes of Big Mouth is when Andrew for a second thinks he's gay and freaks out. And like, I feel like we've all been there. Like I remember like feeling so attached to this girl on my softball team and then freaking out and being like, oh my God, am I gay? Which like, and I feel like so many people go through that. And it's just like that whole episode is him coming to terms with like, am I gay or do I just like this person? And so John on the stage like really embodied that like inner turmoil that you have during that moment. And he just like took it. So again, it's that perfect combination of like honoring the craft and not taking yourself seriously.
Yeah.
That he perfects. And I was like moved to tears during his performance if I'm gay.
The second I asked that, I knew it was going to be that, but just because that whole night, like all together was just like incredible, which is going to be the perfect segue to lead me into kind of like the dynamic of friendships that we see from John that are really special to us.
Yep. Take it away, Megan.
And I feel like one of the things that we bonded over the most when we were first kind of becoming friends and first kind of unlocking each other's unlocks was Nick and John.
Yes. Nick
Kroll and John Mulaney.
Yes.
So they both went to Georgetown University.
Yes.
Nick is 2 years older than John. So they were in an improv group together. Or like Nick was in the improv group, John was joining, and kept hearing about like, oh, there's this kid, John. He's like so funny. He's going to join our group. They meet. Nick is like, okay, I'm completely and utterly fucked. This kid is so funny. And then a friendship for the ages. These two, Nick was obviously one of the special guests featured at John's intervention, which we'll get to if that's something that you're not familiar with.
To this date, probably my favorite John bit is his star-studded
intervention. But for them to go from little boys in college to now fathers, husbands, like career men, titans of industry.
And their kids are like the same age.
Partners,
too.
I know. Wait, and Nick had another baby too.
Yeah. She's probably like a year old. But they both have like
little kids.
A 2 to 3 year old son and a little girl.
Oh,
I know.
That's reminding me. I had some sort of I plotted some sort of plan to get my kid married to John Mulaney at one point, and
to get your kid married to John Mulaney.
Yeah, I don't have one currently, but in talking about,
you mean your kid married to John Mulaney's kid?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
Keyword slipped. Yes, my kid married to Malcolm Mulaney.
Yes.
And I'm forgetting the exact way that I devised that, but if she's anything like her mother, which I know she will be, she probably won't be born for another 10 to 12 years, which would give Malcolm some nice lead time. Which seems perfect for their relationship.
Yeah.
They wouldn't connect until much later in life, obviously. I'm not like disgusting.
I love that, Megan.
I know.
Would it be...
Me too.
So in Yiddish, the word for that is, I think, machatunum.
Ooh.
Or no, mishpah. No, I think it's machatunum. Or not. But that's like in-laws, like in-law to in-law relationship.
Oh, uh-huh.
Would that feel comfortable for you having that with John? Because it's the it's pretty opposite from lovers.
Well, things happen in relationships and families and dynamics.
You just want to be there.
I just want to be in the room, quite frankly. But I don't know, like maybe my husband is someone really like great and cool and awesome too.
Yeah. Okay.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Like maybe my husband is like, who would I want my husband to be that would satisfy me?
Chip Mulaney?
No. Like, okay, maybe my husband is Ben Schwartz.
Okay. Tell everyone what happened with Ben Schwartz really quick, if you don't mind.
Well,
I think this is just like how insane, like Megan is truly the bravest woman in the world.
Well, I'm just completely delusional, and I do just have like truly like delusions of grandeur where I think like I have manifested so many things for myself that like surely this one thing that seems insane like might be the one that also comes true. Ben Schwartz is my celebrity crush, and for the longest time he was like number one. In
Do you feel like John has
in the past
overtaken?
3 years, John has overtaken, but it's a very extremely close race.
Yeah.
Like extremely. I went to go see Ben Schwartz at the Largo, his live improv show, Schwartz and Friends. And I'd had a friend go a couple days before to see Jenny Slate and was like, oh my God, I saw Jenny Slate just like outside of the Largo after the show. Complete unlock for me. Okay, I'm just going to hang around after and wait for him to come out. Go to the show, leave, hang around after with the friend that I went with to wait for him to come out.
Yeah.
And he comes out.
Yeah.
Yay. And he's like signing posters of people. There's like only like 3 or 4 people there at the end of the show. Signing posters, taking pictures with some people.
Were you not feeling so sick?
I was feeling completely sick.
Okay.
Like shallow breathing. Like I can't remember who I went with, but I also spent the whole day. It was Kevin King's birthday before that.
Yeah.
And I spent the whole time at Kevin's birthday party telling everyone like I'm going to meet my husband tonight. Like I'm meeting my husband. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Everyone thinking that I'm like going on a date or something. And then I explaining that I'm just going to see a comedy show. It was pretty tough, but yeah, lots of shallow breathing, like lots of clammy hands, like whatever. He's there. Then and now it's just like me and him and the people that he came with and the person that I came with. I'm like, hi, like I'm just have to say like I'm such a huge fan. I just wanted to know like if we could take a picture together. He's like, yeah, of course. And I used to work at Paramount Studios in the theatrical marketing department, and we worked on Sonic the Hedgehog. That was like the first project that I worked on, which I then obviously had to tell everyone at the office, this is the love of my life. They were very confused and concerned as I literally had been employed there for about 72 hours. But I had to let him know like, oh, like we've actually worked together. I worked on like the Sonic stuff, and he was like, oh my God, that's amazing. Like I love the name of the exec that worked there, blah, blah, blah. We take our picture, do a little side hug. Unbeknownst to the person that I came with, everyone that I had previously told that I was meeting my husband tonight, and honestly me, at some point, I had gotten a pen and paper and written my phone number down.
Yeah.
And after we had said our pleasantries, I just said, by the way, I just wanted to give you this. This is my phone number, just in case you ever wanted to use it. Having like heart palpitations that you would not even believe.
Did you black out?
Yes.
When you did that, or that was a conscious decision?
No, it was literally like I wrote it down, probably thinking like, oh, I'll be like too chicken to actually do this.
Yeah.
And then I actually like got in front of him and I was like, okay, I literally only have one chance to meet the father of my children. So like I should probably just like do it now. But like, yeah, it's like a complete like head rush blackout, like insane. Like my heart's pounding so fast just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Gave him the phone number and he took it, which is so sweet. And Ben, if you're watching this, which I know you are,
yes.
I really, really, really appreciate it.
Huge obsessed head.
Huge. He was like, oh my God, thank you so much. My girlfriend's actually standing right behind us. And I said, oh my God, absolutely no worries. I could go ahead and take that for you and get that in the trash. No worries at all. He goes, no worries. Like, I'll take it. Thank you so much. And I was like, thank you so much. Have a great night. Sprinted home, left my friend that I went with in the dust. Couldn't talk about it. Felt sick for weeks.
Looking back, how do you feel?
Looking back, I also did some backlogging. I actually don't know like if I should say this, but like it is kind of public information, but like not really. Ben Schwartz does have a baby with his girlfriend. Yeah. In doing the backlogging after that interaction, because I also had done a lot of research beforehand, I thought that they had broken up.
Okay.
So that's why I felt comfortable exchanging numbers. Yeah. I didn't get his. I just gave him mine, by the way. He didn't give it back.
The one-way exchange.
She was pregnant. Mm-hmm. She was pregnant at the time of that interaction.
Yeah. Which how would you have known?
I wouldn't have.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't have.
And
but
it's always flattering, truly.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah.
And that's the moral of the story. You flattered him.
I flattered him. Now, given the same opportunity with John M., I know that he's married, so I wouldn't actually have that opportunity. But had I not been privy to that information that he was married, I still don't think I would be able to go through with it. There's something about him that is so alluring to me and like so overwhelming that I just like can't, it's like I can't access. I don't know if I want access.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
That's a 0.5.
Andrew Garfield. It's like
is that a 0.5?
0.5 is like you're not even watching the specials. 0.5 is like I can't look at you. But that is a high tier one where it's like I don't. That's also a basilisk too.
What's that?
A basilisk, you don't watch Harry Potter, but a basilisk is the like snake in the second movie where if you look it in the eyes, you die.
Oh, wow. Like Medusa vibes?
Yes, exactly. So it's like, I don't want to ever look Andrew Garfield in the eyes because I'll die.
Yeah.
Like I have no interest.
Okay, but remember that one time someone DM'd you and was like, I saw Andrew Garfield and Nat Wolff at the Grove. Like if we just were at the Grove AMC and we're standing like by the drink machine and Andrew Garfield was there, like
I'd walk right outside and throw myself in front of the trolley. In front of the trolley going 1 mile per hour. It'd be run over me slowly.
Leg yourself out on the tracks.
Nat Wolff though, I could honestly see myself doing something like really cringy and like pretending I don't know who Andrew is and just talking to the Nat.
Yeah.
Like, is this your friend?
Hi, I'm Brooke. What's your name?
Hi. Oh my God, I love the Naked Brothers band. Is this your buddy?
I do want to say, just speaking of Nat Wolff, I had the amazing opportunity to attend Charlie XCX's birthday party earlier this year, and Nat Wolff was in attendance with Billie Eilish, which obviously saying those three names, Charlie XCX, Billie Eilish, Nat Wolff, it's going to elicit a lot of different responses from people. Yeah. When I saw Nat Wolff like walk into the building, I was completely beside myself. And it was Charlie's birthday party. So yeah, I had been overserved. Yeah. But at one point I was outside and very vocally, very loudly to the point where people were like, let's be quiet. Yeah. I was just like, I like don't even like Billie Eilish's music. Like I don't even like her music. I genuinely need to talk to Nat about Banana Smoothie. Like I need to talk to Nat about Banana. Okay. Getting shushed from the crowd. Yeah. I also want to just go ahead and say on record, like I do like Billie Eilish. Yeah. Like no tea, no shade against
her.
Nat
is there. It's like, how could you not walk in on Banana Smoothie? I would love to talk to him about Beautiful Eyes.
Oh my God.
That's my first male yearning piece, I think, that I ever discovered. Oh my God, I need to add that to the male yearning playlist.
Was Rosalina not connecting with you?
Not as much as Blue Eyes, because my name's not Rosalina.
Right, that's true.
So I didn't really like that at all.
That's true. Wait, so did you like Diana by One Direction?
Yeah, but it's also I don't like when songs that are specific names.
Yeah.
Unless they're
unless it's Brooke,
which usually they're not.
Yeah, I get that.
Did I say Blue Eyes or Beautiful Eyes? It's Beautiful Eyes.
Beautiful Eyes, yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Oh my God, that song is so spectacular. I listen to it when I'm on a walk because it really motivates me.
Okay. You know, the song that I like draw back to all the time with the Naked Brothers band is I Don't Want to Go to School.
Yes, it's true. I like that.
My teacher's face again.
That was, I mean, talk about music that connected to the youth.
Also, obviously we've sidetracked completely. The Naked Brothers band movie, do you remember that?
So vaguely. We need to watch that with
so there's the Naked Brothers band movie, the first one.
Okay.
Which I watched in 2020. Which is actually like hilarious and genuinely holds up and has insane guest stars like Conan O'Brien, Brooke Shields.
Oh my God.
It's insane. But I don't even know if it was like, I think it was a movie or maybe it was just like one of those like long episodes. The Naked Brothers band goes to New Orleans like after Katrina and
to help rebuild.
Yes, and do a concert. And sing to a specific young woman in the audience who may or may not have looked very similar to me.
Oh, Megan, that must have been too much.
It was complete psychological warfare.
Oh, Megan. That's a fan fiction.
I know. Wait, let me like actually, because that's insane. I mean, I'm so sorry to John because we've completely sidetracked.
Well, we can go back to him. But I also keep forgetting that Nat was on my flight a few months ago. Remember?
When you came back from New
York? When I came back from New York. And I was sitting next to Patrick, slapping Patrick in the face. Like, hello. Patrick, of course, didn't know who he was. And I was completely on edge the whole flight.
Wait, but didn't you also meet someone else on that flight?
Lindsay Mendez's aunt. Lindsay Mendez is the woman in Merrily We Roll Along with Jonathan and Daniel. She was wearing a Merrily We Roll Along shirt. Mm-hmm. And I just seen Merrily?
Yes.
When I was there?
I think so.
I had either seen it just then or a few weeks before on a different trip. But she was wearing a Merrily We Roll Along t-shirt. So I had to say, you like Merrily?
Is Merrily when you were in the Splash Zone?
I was in the Splash Zone for Merrily, front row. I think it was a different trip, but whatever. She was wearing the shirt. And I was like, oh, you like Merrily? Because they had just won the Tony. Mm. And she was like, yes, you see this woman right here? Like pointing to Lindsay. And I was like, yes, of course I know Lindsay. And she was like, that's my niece. And she had such a big family, Lindsay, or has such a big family that they go in like rotations to see her. So like Aww. She was with her grandma. It was the grandma and the aunt on this trip that had just gone to see her. Aww. So that was really sweet. So yeah, few celebrities on the plane that evening.
And Nat was really humble and sat in coach.
He was in coach. This is when I was flown out for Donald Duck's birthday.
Oh yeah, Donald.
So I had actually gotten first class, which I was like so excited about. But yeah, Nat was behind me, and I felt really embarrassed. Oh, I was like, oh, he probably wants a humble girl. Here I am. But here I am in first class.
He didn't know
that I never do this.
He didn't know that you were being flown out on business.
No, I should have let him know that I was just a member of Donald Duck's 90th. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that would have helped.
Oh, man. How did we end up here?
Billie Eilish. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
All that matters is that we can go back to John whenever we want.
Yeah, that's so true. He is like the cornerstone. Oh, we were talking about their friendships.
Yes.
His core friendships.
Yes.
So, yes, he is very close friends with Nick Kroll.
Yes.
Partners. John is also very good friends with another comedian by the name of Joe Mande, who I completely adore. And Joe Mande has a comedy special on Netflix that I'm forgetting the name of, but it's kind of like once you start finding those like niche 30 to 40 something like alternative comedians, they're not niche anymore, but like a couple years ago, you start getting fed like all of their friends,
right,
cohorts and associates. So when I was really deep into John, I was introduced to Joe Mande, and his comedy special is all about like him like winning this like fake comedy award. And it's like very, very meta. And I was just like, wow, this guy like rocks. This guy's awesome. But never like had any like ambition or drive to like go see him live or like just anything like that. I was just like, this guy's really funny.
Joe's in Modern Family for a bit, right?
Yes, he's Claire's assistant on Modern Family.
Okay.
And he recently won an Emmy for his work in Hacks.
Oh, Joe.
He's a writer on Hacks.
Congratulations, Joe.
Big shout out. And he did like my Instagram story. Yeah, it was awesome because I gave him a shout out, obviously.
That's crazy.
And I did see him at Capri Club once too.
Did you say hi?
I was a complete freak.
Okay.
I did a triple take because I was talking to people outside, and I turned and I was like, oh, that guy looked like Joe Mande. And I was like, I think that was Joe Mande. And then he got even closer and I was like, oh my God, hi, I love your work. And he said, thank you.
That's
and then
so
just like
not
kept
freakish.
Going. But to look at him 3 times.
Well, you were just making sure it was him.
Yeah, I was like, I did triple check.
Yeah, that's not freakish.
And then I went to the bar with Adam and was like, please, I need a glass of orange wine, but I can't get any closer because you're standing right next to Joe Mande. And then they struck up a conversation and I said, please, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Anyway, Joe Mande, loved him, but didn't like go out to search out to see him. Years pass. Now it's 2021 and John has relapsed. He has gone to rehab. He has gotten out of rehab and now he's going back on tour again and he's at the Troubadour for a string of like 2 weeks. I think
almost
he did
a residency of sorts.
Yeah, he did like 15 shows.
And did we go to that twice?
Yes.
Yes.
I went the first night and then I went like a week or so later. Mm-hmm. Did we go together once?
I think the first time we didn't go together and the second time we did.
The second time I went with you know who.
So then I wasn't there. Maybe, I don't know, but I think I saw that one 2 times.
Yeah, I just think we might have gone 2 times not together, which is really weird. Yeah. But guess who opens up for John Mulaney at the Troubadour? Joe M. That was probably like one of the best comedic nights of my life because I'm thinking like, wow, because that was the second time I saw him at the Troubadour. So the first time it was a guy that I like wasn't really familiar with. And so I was thinking like, oh, the same person's going to open up for him again. Okay. Insert Joe Mande. I'm like, whoa. Okay. Then obviously John Mulaney is going to perform. Now imagine you turn to your right and the whole time that you've been just like laughing and chuckling and ha-haing at Joe Mande, waiting for John Mulaney to perform, Fred Armisen is catty corner to you.
LA is the most spectacular place in the world.
Like insane. And then you're thinking, wow, like I don't want to laugh too hard because Fred Armisen's right here and I don't want him to think that I'm like a freak. But then John's on stage and you're like, I have no choice but to laugh and chuckle and like heart. Then later in the show, you just see this kind of like figure, this like curly headed figure come in from the door and run upstairs to sit catty corner to you as well. And you tell the person that you're with, hey, that's Natasha Lyonne.
Yeah.
And he says, how would you know that? And I said, just hold on one second. Runs up, sits right next to Fred Armisen, and it is Natasha Lyonne.
Yeah.
That was the craziest night of my life. Again, tried not to like be too like ha ha ha, but like it was inevitable. And also like at one point I was like, well, they're laughing.
Exactly.
Like, so there's no point in
it'd be weird if you weren't laughing.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not going to do the fanfic, like girl reading a book at the concert.
Right.
At the comedy show. Like I'm going to laugh and show my dedication and my support.
You'll know I brought the Fault in the Stars to the first One Direction concert. I'm sure you don't mind. Shaved my entire body, brought the Fault in Our Stars. So all good. All good and normal.
You kept saying okay to the people next to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Y'all are completely fine.
It's all good.
If I could go back to one time in my life, it would be that time period.
Oh my God.
With nothing but Fault in Our Stars in my bag.
And a dream.
And an EOS lip balm.
Aww. Were you wearing your glasses at least?
No.
Oh.
I literally refused to wear glasses until probably like college when I couldn't see the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm having a very vivid memory of us leaving John at one point, like seeing him and you not having your glasses. And then it was also raining and we got in the car and it was a very treacherous journey home.
I really like should not be walking around
without your glasses.
Without my glasses. Like I have got to get a pair because I tried contacts. I can't do it. I have just got to get a pair that I love because like I just don't love the way I look in glasses or I don't like the way that I can see myself clearly. Yeah. I'm not sure which one it is, but it's one of them.
Okay. Perfect.
It's one of them. I think I want big glasses like yours. Like I love this.
These?
Yeah.
I have another pair of glasses too that are more like aviator frames, but I did accidentally roll over them in my sleep and pop the glass out and can't put them back in. So I'm just kind of those are gone. Those are lost cause. I guess now. Just
really quickly, just offlining about offlining but online about a treacherous journey that Megan and I once had. We went to the premiere of the show based on a true story, which I don't think I had Obsessed yet, but I think I was talking about it on BNC about how obsessed I am with Chris Messina, who is Danny in the Mindy Project.
Oh yes.
And so was Megan. And so we went to see the premiere of his new show based on a true story. And then after, there was an after party at the Chateau Marmutt, which is like a very classic LA staple, like hotel. So many celebrities just like live there almost. And there was the after party there. And so we're so excited talking about what we're going to say to Chris Messina if we get eyes on him. But unfortunately, I couldn't see when we were driving there. So I asked Megan to take up the navigation to the Chateau Marmutt. And unfortunately, Megan had directed us just a bit out of the way to the Chateau Marmutt.
Yes.
The dog grooming location. So we were just a bit late to that after party, but no problem because we got to see the Chateau Marmutt, which was really exciting.
Really pretty.
Yeah, it was gorgeous.
Also, it was perfect timing because when we were walking in, so was Chris M.
Christina.
So I think he might have also gotten sidetracked at the Chateau Marmutt.
He might have also paid a visit to the Chateau Marmutt. Did we speak to him? Not at all.
Not at all.
No.
Oh, but I did see Danny from Industry at that party, and was so thrilled to see him. And I did speak to him briefly, and he's just like, you know, mildly famous. Like he was only on season 2 of Industry. So I thought I had a completely like normal chance of talking to him. And also he had a really small part in, what was that show called? Based on a True Story. So I just said, oh, hey, by the way, like loved you in the show, love you on Industry. Completely like could not have cared less, like did not want anything to do with me. So that was pretty unfortunate.
That sucks. Cause I think overall, I don't think I've had a bad celebrity interaction yet.
No.
Would you say that's your only one, or there have been more?
I did have like a continuous bad experience with a celebrity, but no, that was probably like the like worst one in terms of just like approaching. Yeah. I actually saw Sebastian Maniscalco on my birthday. Oh my God, my birthday 2021. I saw him sitting outside of the Creation on Santa Monica. And he was there with his wife. And I was just like, oh my God, by the way, I am a huge fan. Like, and he was like, oh, thank you so much. And he was like, what's going on? How's your day? I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that you like still want to continue talking to me. And I was like, oh, like it's my birthday. I was with my friend Caroline was visiting. So I was like, oh, it's my birthday. So, just, you know, walking around. And he really like wanted to continue the conversation of just like being sweet and like, just, like having pleasantries. His wife did not want us to continue that conversation, was really kind of just like, thanks, like kind of, you can head on out.
Interesting.
But he was being sweet as pie. And like, honestly, Lana, who's his wife, I completely understand. Like, you're having a smoothie with your husband, you probably get very limited time with him. Like, you don't want this bitch yapping in your ear. But I would say Danny from Industry was worse than that.
Wow.
Just because he was like super dismissive, and I'm like, okay, I'm like a homie. Like,
right.
And also like, I saw you on Hinge like an hour ago. So like you were very much like a man of the people.
Wow, Megan, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I hope he's listening.
And I know he is.
Yeah.
Well, that's just even more like pertinent to the situation of like, I cannot meet John unless it's perfect. Because if it ended up being like Danny from Industry.
And also people don't understand like that would literally, like it's not dramatic to say it would ruin like a part of your life.
Oh yeah.
Because it's such a big part of your life is like the joy you find in John Mulaney.
Yes.
And all of his material, and it would taint that.
I think about that all the time when it comes to celebrity crushes in terms of like dating. Like if I was to date Ross MacDonald of the 1975, obviously it would be completely fabulous and gorgeous and amazing. But should something horribly go wrong and we don't end up together, there goes like one of my favorite bands.
Totally.
I can't listen to any of like all that's gone.
Yeah.
So should I have a horrible interaction with John Mulaney, there goes like 10 years of my life and everything that's ever brought me joy.
Do you want to speak on your interaction with Ross?
Should I? Because it's almost the anniversary.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never talked about it.
Okay. Wow. Then let's talk about it. On 10/2/23, Brooke and I, Brooke, Patrick, Tristan, Sally Dar, Frankie, Emma.
It was a big group of us. Yeah. No Patrick. Patrick didn't come to the after venue.
Yeah, he didn't come to the after venue.
All I remember, like Tristan played a big part.
Okay, so we attended the 1975 concert. Somehow, by the grace of God, we had gotten access information to the after party that was very close to where I used to live.
And you guys know, like, obviously I still love the 75. They will be my Spotify Wrapped. But like this time last year, it was like
Yeah.
The only thing in my mind was just 1975 constant stream.
It also was like the concert.
Yes.
The concert had come out, the like streaming special.
Uh-huh.
So we were consuming that like it was like literally like heroin.
Nonstop. Like, the only thing on my phone was that Amazon Prime link of the concert.
So we were down bad.
Yeah.
So we go to the concert. We have somehow gotten access to the after venue. If you've ever been to the Hollywood Bowl, which is where the show was, the parking situation is a bit of a nightmare, but we bought a parking pass. It ended up being in lot A. Also, leaving the Hollywood Bowl is a nightmare. Literally, God and every supernatural being was on our side.
It was insane.
When I say we got out of that parking lot in 6 minutes and on the highway back to West Hollywood, it was the most insane like night of my life. And just in terms of like that was a sign like things were going to be good. It truly
usually takes 2 hours to get out of
like
there.
It's crazy. Yeah. Yes. And you normally have to pay for an Uber that's like $200 or like the parking pass was like $200, but it was like split amongst people. So it's like whatever, but it's just like, it's always an ordeal. So we leave, we get to the after party. We're obviously the first people there because we're not supposed to be there.
Yeah. Goes without saying. Also, the concert was truly the best thing that's ever happened.
Amazing. It was so incredible. Ross is so talented. He's like the best modern bassist of all time, I would say. We get there. We finagle ourselves in like literally by just saying names and just being like, this person said we could be here and this person. And
we literally said at the door, we are here with Charlie XCX.
Yeah, which is fine. This is Charlie's plus 11. So,
and they said, come on in.
Come on in. Totally fine. So we spend all night there waiting, for them to show up. We're seeing some of the side characters like John Waugh, the saxophonist. We're seeing Adam. Like, okay, then we're seeing George. Then we're seeing Maddie. And I'm like, okay, where is Ross? Where is Ross? Where is Ross? I'm like, John Waugh has been talking to this young woman for hours. Like, can he like who is this? Turn around. That young woman is Ross. Because he has long hair and his hair was down and he was wearing a jacket.
John Waugh has been talking to the 6'7" young woman for so long.
For hours. Like, so that completely like transfixes me. At one point, we're going to the photo booth, see that Ross has walked past the photo booth to go to the young man's room. I have to step out of the photo booth and make my way to the young lady's room, where I keep going in and out of the door because I want to be there for when he comes out.
Yes.
So then I actually go to the young lady's room and come out, and it happens to be at the same time that he's leaving. It's like serendipity. And we cross paths and he just looks at me and I just kind of like, huh. And just keep moving. No interactions after that.
Right.
For several hours. Get back to the dance floor after coming back from the bathroom. I left everyone in the photo booth, and then also like they were like going back to the bar to get a drink. I come back. Tristan is elbow deep in a conversation with Maddie Healy in his booth, talking
at the friends and family table.
At the friends and family table, talking. George is there. He's like this and like, and I'm
sharing
like,
drinks, etc.
What has happened in the 6 minutes that I have been at the young lady's room?
And all I hear loudly is Tristan going, I don't really like the 1975, but like my friends really like it. So like I work in the music industry and I'm just like, oh my, but for whatever reason, like they were loving, I mean, not for whatever reason. Like, despite him actively saying, I do not like the 1975.
Yep, I do not
They
like
were
them.
welcoming him at the table. Tristan made a name for himself at the friends and family location for the rest of the night.
For the rest of the night. Also, Tristan had ordered a bottle of champagne to the friends and family table. And there were some friends and family, not members of the 1975, by the way, who were very, very anti-Tristan being at that table. And were very like much being like, you're a clout chaser and you're like stealing from us, like by getting like the drinks from our table. Like this is so weird. And Tristan, like being completely himself, is able to let the woman talk, yap his ear off about how he's like so horrible in this and that, only to then reveal the waiter comes around, hands Tristan and the check and goes, oh, here's the check whenever you're ready. The woman has to tuck her tail in between her legs. I'm so sorry. We just have to deal with this all the time with people who just only want to use us for like the fame and the money and the clout and the status. Tristan's like, don't even like the 1975. I don't even like the 1975. I'm in the music industry though. My friends like it, so that's why we're here.
I don't like it per se, but it's so insane. And I have this picture of Tristan just going like this to Maddie Healy, like explaining he's not a fan, but his friends are. And then Megan, we vacate the venue.
Yeah, then we vacate the venue. The venue's closed, and everyone's kind of looking for afters.
That's the first time I ever made it to the
to close. Yes. Which was great, Brooke. And it was a school night,
I literally could have kept going.
And we were trying to. We did have a little incident at the end of the night that prevented us from going, but we don't have to talk about that. Everyone's looking for kind of like the next venue on like what to do and where to go. And members of the 1975 are gathered outside. Maddie Healy's brother is outside and we're chit-chatting with him.
I was loving shooting this shit with him.
He was so sweet. And one of our friends is talking to Ross because she works in the music industry and like works closely with him and knows that I'm in love with him. So kind of did an intro. And I walked over and she was like, oh, Ross, like this is Megan. Megan, this is Ross. Shook hands. Hi, so nice to meet you. Like y'all did great tonight. And goes, thank you. Okay. Took that beat of silence, turned around, walked away.
I've seen Megan like fully confident walk up to John Mayer with like so much to say. I haven't seen her quite like the way she was with Ross, kind of just immediate pivot away.
Immediate pivot. Now, is that something that haunts me to this day? Yes. But does it give me room for growth? It gives me room for growth just in the sense that like no one would ever remember that interaction. Like one, lots of cocktails had been consumed. Two, it was so short and so brief. Like what would you remember? Right. The girl that walked away.
Literally, you're so fine.
And he did start dating someone like kind of very shortly after that. And now they're broken up. So I just need another chance to be in the same room. And maybe that'll happen on 10/2/24.
Yeah. The year anniversary. And then we could always like celebrate that day as like something special between us. Yeah. Maybe this episode will even come out then. It'll be out by then. But
cool.
So y'all can take a retroactive moment of silence for
10/2/24. I actually can pull up the photo just because it's the background of my phone.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind. And now, Megan, while you're pulling up that photo, I do want to, that's perfect.
I actually do have like this is us.
Yeah.
Kind of talking.
When they were connecting.
I do have a rolling log of phone background. So that's me and John Mayer.
Yep.
And then I also have this one for when I'm feeling like I need to do a duo.
Yep.
And then I've got this one for when I feel like I want to come back from our like friend's wedding in the south of France and just want to like look at that.
Just want to look at your man.
Yeah.
Well, Megan, thank you so much for sharing everything that you've shared.
Thank you for having me. It has kind of gone all over the globe.
And it always does.
I just want to say like I love John Mulaney so much. And John, if you're watching,
and no one doubts your passion.
No one doubts that. And it has been the point of contention in almost every relationship I've been in.
As it should be, Megan. Stand your ground, support your man. Thank you so much for sharing. And I want you to stay right here as we welcome two additional friends to the space. If they wouldn't mind revealing themselves.
Oh my God. Who's it going to be?
Let's see who's here.
Okay.
Are you here? Not really. Yay. No. Hi, my love. We've got Brett N in the space. And Sodi G. Sodi, did you use the new curler?
No, I didn't.
Okay, Sodi used her wand.
Right now, or am I doing a separate?
Do you want to just do a foursome?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come right in.
So we're going to do a foursome. We're going to tell you guys to go ahead to the next episode and join us there so the variety special can continue with Sodi G.
Are we able to all sit?
That's a good question. I think so. And Brett N. Thank y'all. Love you.